Hello. I thought I'd do this outside. It's so beautiful. I've got my little card. I thought you might appreciate our backyard, which is like a veritable park. We've actually got honeybees in the back there. We got Concord grapevines and stuff. Yeah, you just see. Got a big, nice woods, oaks. Big old bonfire out there. So, um, speaking on the Thomas Mapes, sexual morality and the concept of using another person. It kind of reflects on Immanuel Kant, which I did a lot of. Mosquitoes. I did a lot of things with readings and whatnot of Immanuel Kant, and I have some certain issues of things. However, this I don't have an issue with, of course. The concept that humanity requires a certain amount of of means and ends. We all need, you know, means. We all need ends. And the morality here is pretty much expressed in the concept that as long as both parties are participant of the means and the ends, regardless whether any one person would see the ends appropriately for both parties or not. But as long as there is informed information, informed consent, of course, as long as you have that, you have the ability to be sure that both parties are accepting of the means and the end result of those means. So when you're looking at this breakdown, one can, which is, one can, one, one can be coercive in two primary ways, which is, of course, a current, coercion, and dispositional. Dispositional, obviously, basing on your circumstances and whatnot, and in certain circumstances, those are a little gray area, but there's a way out of it, as Mapes described. Um, so yeah, a current obviously is physical. It is physical force. It is not caring for the ends, and certainly is abusive in the means. Um, so this is obvious rape, any type of physical force. Even if, I mean, you can have obvious, very, very physical, but um, you can have also the coercive, dispositional threat, where somebody can threaten harm, but not actually do it in order to coerce the person to do what they're asking them to do. And even if the person would be obliged or would be normally agreeable to that situation, it isn't. It's invalid if there's that threat of force, threat of harm. It's invalid even if the other person doesn't even appreciate it. Of course, that does lead into some other things, such as, I mean, I know we're not talking about that, but that does lead into the concepts of BDSM and various things like that. How much consent is really going on, how much playing out of trauma is going on. Again, consent would still be there, though, even if if somebody's troubled, having issues with things in their past, one can just simply say that these are uninformed, um, ignorant, and I don't want to say avoidance of a weakness, a perceived weakness can happen in that situation. Let me keep on track so I don't go too far. You can look also an example. These are example, but the more casual means to an end. Um, when you have, they brought up, of course, student and professor. If a professor, not looking at the institutional morality of the action, but simply the two individuals, if a professor threatens to harm a person's grade or reputation in some fashion, it is definitely very coercive, very coercive, and um, the concept of, if you're not losing anything and you're essentially in the same spot that you were in, then it can be a coercive offer, which is not the same, unless the coercive offer is done when somebody is in extreme need and therefore is making decisions not based on consent. It's taking advantage of, we have a prima facie duty to humanity to remain pure as we can, to see each person as individuals, to understand how they need to understand all aspects of engagement with somebody in particular things. If the professor, threatens to harm, then that's definitely using someone, using another person. But if the professor's offering something more, like give you a better grade or better assessment, or talk to somebody that you're looking to get connected to for your future career, things like that, technically they can be said no to. So even though in the professional realm the professor is in the wrong, but it does not meet up to the standards as far as the categorical imperative is concerned. Now, we do also have, I'm trying to think without looking at my card, but I'm going to look at my card. Oh yeah, of course, manager-employee is a very similar circumstance. Um, Again, if a manager says, if you don't do this, then I will take you off of overtime. I will lower what you're going to receive. There's a loss going on there. So the coercion is using somebody. This is an inappropriate coercive. This is not consent. This is under duress. And if the employer offers something, again, of higher, like, if we do this, I'll give you a raise, I'll give you more overtime, whatever that promise may be, again, that is a coercive offer, whether it be wrong for the institution, for the business itself. It's obvious concern there. But in essence, the the two parties are able to consent or not to consent in that situation. But again, carries the same as the doctor and the medical. In general, my viewpoint, it's amazing the romantic love and consent. Consent really equaling value. Consent is because somebody sees a return. Now that can be family, and people are going to be more sacrificial for family. There may be situations. I mean, obviously, we're talking about sex on that. I'm speaking about consent in general, but yeah, it's like as the children get older, their consent becomes more and more important. On, what do you want to eat? What do you want to wear? What do you think about? What do you think about charity? Things like this, and you can contemplate all of these types of things. But there are some gray areas. But again, it's like, what are you getting out of? What is the threat? What is the offer? And again, yeah, the man that was in dire straits in that story, losing his home, being unemployed and whatnot. That's a good demonstration. Even though he is still, without that offer, he is still in the same spot he was beforehand. But because of the desperate emotional place that man is in, it's taking advantage. It's separating it out from being humane. So that is my talking. I don't know how long this was. Hopefully it wasn't near as long. Anyways, hope you're having a beautiful day. Just love I always say I live in a park. I live in a park. These things are big. Some of these oaks are 300 years old. This one here is about 250. We had to take down a lot of the branches that were lower because they require a lot of water. These two over here, those are even older. I think that one's about 300, and the one behind it's 250, or the opposite. Anyways, thank you. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. You have a beautiful evening. Oh, wait, I'll catch my cat. Scarlet. Hi, girl. Always a good girl. Norwegian forest cats. I got 2 of them. This is the female. Anyways, cheerios. Have a beautiful day. Bye.